Stuffy Crafter. My name's Jessica, and today we're doing a Wip Chat. If you're new here and you don't know what WIP stands for, it stands for Work in Progress. And what normally happens during a Wip Chat is that you can bring out your own whips, or if you want, you can do chores, you could drive around, you could do whatever. You could sit on the couch and listen to me ramble about what's been going on in my week. With that being said, I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm a little congested, so please excuse me if I sound a little off. There's I'm trying to clear my throat and off camera and stuff like that. I'll try and mute it as much as I can if it's too loud. I want to apologize for not being on for the last few weeks. I really appreciate everyone who's told me that I can take as much time as I want. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, a few weeks ago I lost my mom. She passed away rather unexpectedly, and I've been kind of devastated. I was feeling good enough to post videos last week, but I just couldn't bring up any moment of doing any actual Wip Chats because when I normally do Wip Chats, it was like it was a few days after the funeral, and it was still too fresh for me. So I decided I could do just unboxings, and that'll be fine. But anyway, I guess I could talk a little bit. I'll try not to linger on it too much. This might be a short Wip Chat, only because I've been kind of still in the grieving mindset, so I haven't really gone out and have done a lot of stuff with the kids as of late. I've tried to do a few Wip Chats already. Yesterday was Monday, which is what I normally do a Wip Chat, but it was also Labor Day, so the kids were home and they're loud. I tried to tell them, hey, I'm trying to do a video. Can you keep it down? And Nicole had a friend on the phone who she kept talking very loudly with, so the answer was no. They could not keep it down. And I don't think that you guys wanted to hear about Michael talk about his big old butt. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't have a big butt, but for some reason he kept just saying, I have a big butt. Look at it. And I don't think you guys wanted to hear that over and over in the background. I had the door closed, and you can still hear his voice carry up. I'm like, no, this ain't working. And I tried to record earlier today too. And I kept talking about the funeral, and I don't think people really want to be depressed, as I've been feeling. It felt really good though to let it all out, but yeah, it was just, I don't think you guys needed to hear 40 minutes of me talking about my feelings on the whole thing. So yeah, we're gonna keep it short and sweet, I guess, because like I said, I kind of been in a fog, to be honest, and it didn't help that I got sick. I forgot that, silly me, I forgot that there's flowers at a funeral, right? Of course there is. I'm allergic to flowers. I didn't take any allergy medicine. So, I, within 20 minutes of stepping into the place, immediately became, really stuffed up. I'm like, oh great. And it kind of stayed with me for a few days. So you probably kind of could hear it like in my unboxings last week. And then my daughter, my oldest, she gets sick last weekend, and then gives it to me. So now I'm congested. I just get over my whole allergy issue, and now I'm congested, and I'm not having a blast. At least I'm not shivery anymore, because I was really cold and stuff Saturday. So I'm glad that part's done, because that was not fun. I was not enjoying myself being cold and shivery. I'm pretty sure Nicole wasn't either. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about my mom. I'll try not to go too long. I'll keep an eye on the time, but I it was supposed to be like a really like normal Thursday, to be honest, and it for the most part it was. The twins were finally doing their summer activity. So yeah, this is it's been a few weeks. So they were doing. I kept telling you guys like how we were supposed to do summer homework, and that their one of the rewards was basically a water day, a splash day, and they were finally getting their splash day that day, and I was like, okay. And my husband and Nicole, their glasses, goodness words, their glasses finally came in, but we couldn't pick them up during the weekend, so we decided, okay, well, let's do it Thursday. That was the only time my husband could get time off work, and we decided, okay, well, the kids had an awesome day at playing around. They're going to probably be tired from being in the sun, so I could just make them something nice and short, and you know, something delicious, right? Kind of like a little special treat while Nicole and my husband go out and get some dinner, maybe pick up something for me, and it'll be like a nice little ending to on a Thursday. I was like, okay, that sounds good. And I figured while all that's going, I would have a full day of diamond painting. That's my plan. I was excited. I told my husband, I was like, yeah, I probably will just stay upstairs all day. After I'm done, getting the kids tucked in, I'm just gonna keep on staying up here because I wanted to finish this. My plan was to be done with this by the end of August, and at that point, I was on track. But with everything, I kind of stopped and slowed down, and understandably, I just kind of just didn't feel in the mood to diamond paint as much. So, but yeah, it's just like that was the whole goal, and at the first part was going well, and then I got a phone call from my dad saying that my mom was he found my mom unconscious, along with a lot of stuff that was very disturbing, which I won't repeat, and that they just got her heart beating again, and she's in the hospital, and that the diagnosis didn't look good. Um, Trying to be as quick about this because I don't want to break down. You guys don't need to hear me break down on camera. But I wish I honestly did not listen to that voicemail until after I made the kids their dinner because I was pretty much a wreck after that. I called my husband. I was asking for him to come home. He was, of course, he's like I think at that point he was eating at Chinese food with Nicole, and of course, he doesn't answer his phone like when he's on there. So I texted him too, just so he knew why I was repeatedly calling. I didn't want to bother him too much, but yeah, he called and asked me what was happening, and I mentioned everything. He's like, okay, I'll be on my way. We're wrapping up. We're gonna get going, but traffic is awful there. That's why he said don't expect him home until like late, because he had to go all the way in downtown to go pick up the glasses. It was like an hour trip there, hour trip back, and traffic on top of that. We wouldn't we weren't I wasn't expecting him until closer to 7:30 or so. But he made it home around 6:30. Luckily enough. Um, and at that point, I already called my dad, checked up on him. Things were okay at the time. Like, I mean, like I said, it didn't look good. Things weren't looking well at all, but it was still nothing. Nothing was happening, but but didn't seem like she was on the verge. And then like 10 minutes after my husband came home, I got the phone call from my dad that my mom unfortunately did pass away. She didn't make it, and at that point, I was inconsolable, and I had a hard time with everything. And my husband, he really stepped it up, and he helped so much these last few weeks, especially with how I was last week. I was still Last week was still a really rough week with me, and I'll try and get into some parts of that. Like I said, I don't want you guys to be be saddened. I'm gonna talk some really good funny stuff. I have some funny things about my kids, honestly, um, and they were so sweet too, guys. Um, they they weren't close to my mom, but so they're, I mean, like, they're 8 and 11, and like I said, they've never been like close to my mom, but this is like the closest that they have been to a death in the family. So they're not completely understanding. They know that I'm sad, but they don't understand why I'm still sad. At times, until I kind of go, well, think about it. Like, if something that you really care about went away and is never coming back, wouldn't that make you sad? And, of course, waterworks and everything, and then I'm trying to console them. I really said that at a really low point of my time, where I was just really, really, I was like I said, I was out of it for a while. But goodness. But my husband stepped it up, and he helped cook food. He helped, he did laundry. I did start sorting and stuff like that, but he helped clean up and everything. He told me, don't worry about it, and I really appreciate it, because that whole week before the next Friday was I had to deal with my family. My dad was taking it, of course, understandably hard. And like I this is not a gripe to my family. This is not a gripe at all. But it's just that we all grieve in different ways. I wasn't really able to properly grieve until last week. My my dad and my sisters, they needed someone to talk to all the time, and I was that person, and they used me as a way to let out all of their grief. And I I have a battery, and I just was drained, and I was just emotionally, physically, and mentally drained every day. I woke up drained too on top of that. So I really didn't have time to process all of my grief. I was sad, I was upset, I was crying, but I didn't really have time to, really hone in on that until last week. And no shame to my parent, well, my dad. God, it's going to be weird saying just my dad instead of my parents. But no shame to him, no shame to my sisters. It's just, I really wish that I would just, they gave me just a chance to be by myself, give myself some time to actually start thinking about everything instead, because it was just very much go go go, talk talk talk. We just need you. We need the conversation with you. And I was very much on. I was very much having to. They were depending on me to basically cheer them up, keep their mind off things when I'm still in disbelief and shock, because like the very next day, I almost called my mom. My mom's deaf, so it's more like a video chat, but I almost picked up the phone and just was about to video chat, hit the video call, when I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that anymore, because I'm pretty good about keeping in contact with mom. I'm not good at that with my dad, because my dad and I don't get along. We don't see eye to eye. And usually if I tell him something, he doesn't really tell anyone else. Like, he doesn't spread the words. Like, I would say, hey dad, let mom know that like, there's a package coming in, and he goes, okay, I will. And then a few days later, mom's like, did you send me something? And I'm like, yeah, I told dad. Well, he didn't tell me. And it's like that kind of stuff. I mean, like, that's the least important, but things like that. But yeah, it was just like, I would talk to my mom every few weeks, pull up my phone and just, have the phone like laying right there and just chatting with her, and everything. But yeah, it was just so weird not being able to do that. Not that it matters, because the phone is broken right now, from the paramedics when they were trying to get to her and everything. But we found out what the cause of what happened was she had internal bleeding. They don't know exactly where. She just she bled out inside, unfortunately, and she's on blood thinners, so that didn't help at all. So I mean, like, so it was just like something I'm got to keep my eye on. I guess because there's blood clots, and that's why she's on blood thinners. It's because she has we have a family history of blood clots, so I have to keep my eye on that as well. Now that I'm getting to be closer to the 40 age than the 30 age, I'm looking at February coming up and going, oh no, 37. Ew, stay away over there. I don't want to turn 37 yet. Excuse me. So yeah, it's just like now I'm like looking at that and I feel like the doom scroll coming. It's like doom. Sorry, but yeah, it's just it was a rough time, and funeral made it weird. I'm still kind of I still kind of wish I didn't went. I know that sounds like that's mean, but it's more of you know how family drama is. There's just there was people there that I do not wish to talk to. I don't want to associate with. They've caused a lot of mental trauma and physical trauma, and to this day I still get I get panic attacks from it. So I didn't want to see face to face, and unfortunately I did, and it has caused a bit of a setback with me, which was all last week was me, having trouble talking about this in general. Still having trouble, trying still get through it, but I'm glad that's over with. But I'm glad that my husband was there to help me through it. He's been so sweet, guys. Like, I told him stories about how my mom and I've mentioned this a few times already. It's like one of my favorite memories, though. When we were younger, like, how in the days with before there was direct depositing, you had to go to the bank to cash in your paycheck. You had to go to your place of work. You picked up your paycheck and then you go to the bank, and that's what we did. We went to McDonald's. Mom would pick up her paycheck. We would go across to the opposite side of town to deposit said paycheck at the bank. Then she would have some cash and she would take us to the convenience store, which I went there when we drove by there when I came to visit to town, and it's so weird it's not there anymore. A lot of stuff, and it's so weird, like the town has not changed but yet has changed, if that makes sense. A lot of buildings have gotten destroyed. I was told that there was a fire bug in the area, and a lot of the buildings in the downtown got destroyed from it. So like there's just like it's like all these old buildings, and then there's spaces where there used to be other buildings. So it's so weird. It's really weird, guys. But it's also like stepping back in a portal in a way, like of going back in time. But anyway, we went to the convenience store, and like I'm with my sister. So I have two sisters. This is before my youngest was even thought of. So it would be just me and my younger sister, and Mom would be like, "Okay, all right, we're gonna get some food, right? We're gonna get some junk food, right?" And she would always get these Nutty Buddy bars, and my sister and I, we had to argue. We always argued, but it was like strawberry shortcake rolls, which is my personal favorite. I would always argue to get those, or then we would get like Little Debbie cakes and stuff like that my sister likes, and then we would also get chocolate. So Reese's is something Mom would have, those 10-pack things. If we went to the dollar store, she would get those. It was like 10 for $1 or $1.50. of Reese's, and then like I would get Kit Kats, and then my sister would get something else, and we would also get soda, and then we would take it home. And of course, my dad would not allow to have that much candy in the house, so there would be like the grocery store. Those grocery bags. The storage area where you just have a pile of grocery bags, right? Everyone has that. Well, ours was like 3 feet high. And we would just like dig a little area and drop all of the candy and stuff in that spot, and where our stash was. It was so funny. And then like sometimes when we would go to a bakery, all right, like there's a really good bakery in town, and my mom would always like let us have one or two treats, like depending on how well she was paid for the month, right? So she would always get herself some fudge because she loves fudge. Sometimes brownie, but a lot of times fudge. And when I was tinier, I was obsessed about the turnovers they had until I got hooked onto their eclairs. Now these eclairs, they were not the eclairs that you know, okay? These were huge honking ones, and I'll see if I can post a picture of it here, because my husband was very kind. This is why my husband's really awesome. So the next day after the news, he went to the store, and he bought the strawberry shortcakes for me, and then a bag of Reese's and Kit Kats. And then when we actually visit my hometown, I pointed out that the bakery is still there, right? It's a small town. I was so surprised. The shoe store that was next to it, no longer there, but the bakery is still there. I was very shocked. And he's like, "All right, I know the week is starting right now, but we're stopping here first for you. You need to take because I was like in the verge of panicking again before we went to step to the funeral home. He's like, I know that the wake is literally minutes from starting. We're going to stop here first." And he's like, "You just need a couple seconds to take a few deep breaths and, breathe and relax." I'm like, "Okay." And he was gone for a few minutes, and he came back out, you guys, and he bought out all of the eclairs from that place. He had this huge box of eclairs just for me, and it was so sweet. I just have like 3 left. They're frozen. I decided to stick them in the freezer to kind of save them for now, because I let him try them when we got back home, when we came back home from everything. I'm like, "Okay, you gotta try this," and he did, and he's like, "Oh God, you're right. These are so good. This is not you should not get me addicted to this." I'm like, right, it's so delicious. But let's see. All right, need to do one more thing. But yeah, so he was really sweet on that. I will be very appreciative of the fact that he was so helpful on that fact. And I think I'm going to hold on for a moment. I see that I've talked about this for 23 minutes. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to stop for a moment, and I'm going to shift. I know I have this section, but I'm trying to save this for later. So I'm going to go over here to where there's more color blocking and stuff. And I just got to move my camera and everything. So I'll be right back. All right. Took a little finagling, but I got everything settled over here. This is what I was starting on while I was trying to figure out what to say for everything previously. So yeah, I've been trying to work in all the color blocking spots and leave her face for the most part alone. That's why I didn't really want to work on that spot. I'm like trying to reward myself to finish up all these dark spots, all of these color blocking areas. Some of them aren't color blocking. It's some of it's a little deceptive, and there's confetti. Not so much here, but like in other spots where further back right here, it was just a bunch more confetti than color blocking, and it was just kind of a little aggravating. All right, I gotta pull out a couple of colors here since I'm going to be using them. I know it could go faster if I do it one way, but I'm stubborn and I like to do things my way. It makes it easier in my mind. Okay, here we go. I think these are all the colors. All right. So to move on from that, onto happier moments, I guess would be the best thing. Okay, so we're going to have percent sign there. We're going to have this sign right here, and those are the A's over there. So I just align it like that, and then we're going to have this one in this tray. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to put the I don't want to have you guys stare at color blocking for people who do watch while I'm diamond painting. But I just didn't want to start a whole brand new section either. So goodness gracious, I really would like not to be sick, guys. I don't want to be sick. I don't like being sick. Excuse me. So, one of the things I really wanted to do while I was there, I wanted to visit this pizza restaurant because it's been a long time since I've been there. And I wouldn't say they're the best pizza in the whole wide world, but I just think there's something in the water that just makes everything taste better there, in a way. Because I really wish I gotten the pepperoni rolls when I was there, and the pizza. And I'm kind of sad that I wasn't able to do that, but I was not in the best state of mind to really appreciate all that right now. And as much as I say I don't want to ever go back, I think that if I do go back to that town, it's going to be without letting people know. Just so that way I can properly say my goodbyes the way I wanted to say goodbye instead. Because I'm not going to talk much more about this. It's just that I felt like, oh, that's a trash drill. I felt like I had to be there just for my dad instead of for me. So I did that for him instead. So, and while I don't regret being there for my dad, I do regret being there in general because of the people that I had to be with. Let's see. So, for happier moments, like I said, let's see. So, I had stuff written down yesterday, and I've misplaced it. I am so sorry. So this isn't a happy moment, but yeah, Nicole got sick. So, like, our kid already missed, a day of school from everything, not last week, but the week prior because of the funeral. So she already missed a day of school. She wakes up Thursday last week with a sore throat and a fever. A low-grade fever, but a fever nonetheless. So she stayed home. I'm like, okay. And then the fever kept climbing all day long. Even with medicine, it just kept going up. Like, it was not being held back. We already contacted the school, let them know. And it's just a tiny gripe. If I'm contacting the school, I'm saying, hey, my kid is going to be sick. My kid's going to be... If I'm calling the school, or like emailing them, like what my husband and I had to do. We had to go and email a certain person to let them know that Nicole wasn't going to be in for today. If I have to do all of that, why do I also need to write a parent's note if I'm already emailing in saying, hi, please excuse Nicole today. She's not going to be able to come in. She has a fever and she's feeling unwell. And the person's like, okay, I'll let the teachers know. She's still marked as unexcused until I write her a note. I'm like, if I'm doing all this, I'm like writing you a big old email and showing proof. Why do I gotta write a note on top of it? So, it's just mild gripe. But her teachers, I didn't realize this, her teachers sent her schoolwork to be completed. Because Nicole took the initiative. She emailed the teachers as well. When she was still feeling, but when it was still like a low fever, when it was like 99.9 or something like that. So nothing like too high. She emailed the teachers and let them know, I'm not coming in. I'm not feeling good. I got a fever, right? And they gave her schoolwork, which is funny because they didn't give her schoolwork the week prior when she was missing that one day. But she got a bunch of schoolwork from each class. So, um, so when I came in to check up on her to see how she was doing, if she wanted water or anything like this, because I stayed up here Thursday, I saw her on her tablet. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm doing my schoolwork," and I'm like, "Oh," I was so surprised. I wasn't expecting her to do that. And she's like, "Yeah, the school wanted me. My teachers wanted me to complete my schoolwork." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Do you need? Are you supposed to be on camera or anything?" She's like, "No, just gotta do my schoolwork." I'm like, "Okay." And I asked her about if she wanted water or anything, and she's asked for a snack, and I was like, "I got you. Okay, I can do this." I was really surprised. She did really well too. She started getting tired at one point, understandable, especially once her fever started climbing, and then and she wanted to rest, and then I let her rest. I said, "Yeah, go take a break. It's not a big deal. It just needs to be completed before tomorrow. That's all." So, but unfortunately, she was also sick Friday, and Friday was like early release day, which is so funny because when normally it was like half days, now they're called early release days. So they're not half day of school anymore. It's more like they only get out of school 2 hours earlier from before. Uh, so she so she stayed home, did schoolwork again. We picked up Michael and Jaina early. They had a bunch to say. I stayed home with Nicole. Even though Nicole's like, "I'm a big girl. I can stay by myself home by myself." I'm like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah. I don't. I know. You'll burn down the place." um, and by Friday afternoon, I started feeling sick. I'm like, "Oh no, 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 no. This ain't good." And then Saturday, I was fully sick, and Nicole was so much better. And I'm like, "Great." And now I'm feeling a little bit better today, but I'm still got some congestion. Unfortunately, the cough will be there regardless or not. I will always be coughing. I will figure out what's going on one day. um, but but yeah, it's just that was one of the things, and it's so funny because she wanted to go do the sleepover. She had plans to have a sleepover with her friend this weekend, and that didn't pan out because her parents, understandably, went, "No, your kid was sick." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I've the best way is to basically let your kid hear it from someone else because she's not going to listen to me, no matter how many times I'm like, "Hey, you were just sick. You're supposed to get better." "Well, let me just make sure it's okay." I'm like, "All right, you're gonna have to." You'll hear them say the same thing, and yeah, they said the same thing. They said the exact same thing to her. I'm like, "See, I'm not an idiot." um. Oh. One of the things I've thought about talking about, I'm not an idiot. So, um, earlier last week. This is so funny because she had a project due on Thursday, by the way. The project's done, don't worry. She had it finished before Thursday. But in the email, it said the project was due Wednesday. So I was on her about finishing it because they scheduled this project on the day she was missing the Friday prior, okay? So I kept telling her, "Hey, you got to finish this project," and I kept getting, I'll finish it." She's been finishing most of her homework. It's just the long-term projects she's kind of about. And she's been going home. She's going to visit friends. She'll come home. She'll toss her book bag at at the cubby, run upstairs to go call a friend, and then come running back downstairs like a few minutes later and saying she's going to so and so's house and she won't be back till dinner. Then she comes home for dinner. After she eats, she runs right back upstairs and just stays there. And she either talks to a different friend or she'll just chill out and watch TV. So I haven't really heard much from her. And this all of this is that I'm going to talk about. This is why I like we got onto her a little bit this morning about it. Um, so project was due, and I was like, "Hey, are you going to finish this?" And she's all like, "Yes, I will finish it after I get back from a friend's house." And she didn't do it that day. She only did like a little bit. She did a little bit that day. Instead, I'm like, "Are you not done?" She goes, "Nope, I'll work on it some more tomorrow." I'm like, "Well, it's due Wednesday," and she goes, "No, it's due Thursday." I'm like, "Well, the teacher said Wednesday." She goes, "Well, my assignment says here Thursday," and yeah, it said Thursday, but I'm like, "Let's finish it by Wednesday. Let's finish it today, like today, just to make sure, right?" And she's like, "Okay, I'll do it when I get back home after visiting, so and so house." And my husband went, "No, no, you are not going to anyone's house today. You are going to finish your schoolwork assignment. When you come home from school, you are going to sit your butt there and you're going to finish your assignment." She was not happy. um, so she finished her assignment. And then here's why I say she thinks she's so slick, guys. Because we told her no visiting anyone, right? "Oh, I'm just going to go out for a walk." Mm. Hmm. After she finished talking to a friend, she's like, "I'm going to go out for a walk. I'll see you guys later. Is that okay? Can I go out for a walk?" I'm like, "A walk to where?" She's like, "Just around." My husband said, "Okay." He's like, "We got to give her some concessions. That way, and not let her know that we're up to her tricks, so that way we can catch her," or something like that. I'm looking at him like, "What?" He goes, "Just let's keep an eye on her. That's all." So we have Gab wireless. So basically, I kept an eye. I saw her go to her friend's house. I'm like, mm-hmm. But she didn't stay there. So she actually did went for a walk. But I think she stopped at her friend's house to like her friend walked with her. So like she didn't go to a friend's house technically. But she thinks she's slick. She ain't slick. We know, parents know all. Well, not everything, but we do want her to come to us on important matters. That's what counts for us. Like we want to make sure she knows it's okay to come to us. So we're like, and she didn't come clean, but she did mention she was with a friend. When she got back, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, thank you for letting us know. But that was one thing. This thing that we got onto her about earlier was let's see. So I don't know if I mentioned this. This was like all in the same week where everything was going on. So she expressed interest in a running club group thing for girls. And I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Let us know more about it," because she's supposed to sign up for it and everything. And I haven't had her word. And it was really weird because she never really expressed interest in running. And it sounded like she only did so because she wanted to do it with her best friend, which nothing wrong with that. But I was just like, okay. And she didn't talked about it at all since then. So today I brought it up. I'm like, "Hey, what about this club thing that you wanted to join?" And she goes, "Oh, it's too late. They wanted $180 and I said no." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't tell us about this." And she goes, "Yes, I did. I talked to you, Mommy." And I'm like, "When?" Guys, she talked to me about this the day after my mom passed away, where I was in a state where I was not paying attention at anything, like where I was just like zombie mode almost. I'm like, and she didn't talk to her daddy either, so she only talked to me about it. So of course I'm like out of it. I'm not paying attention to things. I'm completely in my own world, in my own little grieving world. And I was just like, oh gosh. So it's been a few weeks. And yeah, it may be too late for her. So, but we're going to talk to the organizers there and see if we can still get her signed up to join, and we'll pay for the fees and everything. It's just that we kind of, well, we didn't like hash it out with her. We didn't get on to her. I'm pretty sure she felt like it was an attack. But we explained to her while we were waiting for her school to open that, well, one, I was, just because she talked to me wasn't meaning anything. And yes, I should have paid more attention, but she also needs to realize I'm not completely, I was still in grief and stuff like that. And if she talked to me, especially when I had people on the phone, which is her favorite way of talking to me, by the way, is if someone's talking to me on the phone, she loves to try and just talk to me and everything and interrupt the conversation. So, um, but basically, my husband's like pointed out, hey, here's what you do all the time. You come home, you run upstairs, you don't really say hi to us. Um, then you run out and you don't come back until dinner time. You eat and then you run away back upstairs without talking to us until it's 8 o'clock at night. So we want to know more about things like this. You didn't give us pamphlets. You didn't let us know anything. And something important like this, you need to talk to both of us, just in case that one of us wasn't paying close enough attention. And basically, she did get a little defensive. Like, I know she got upset right before school, and we're like, this is not an attack. This is just you letting you know that, hey, maybe be a bit more aware that when you were talking, mommy's not paying the closest attention. And I admit, I should have, but I mean, literally the day after my mom died, you're trying to talk to me on that. I don't think it's a good thing, especially since my husband kind of told everyone, hey, if you have things to say, talk to me about it, right? Like, because I stayed upstairs, up here for a few days. Like, I didn't go downstairs very much, like, at all. Like, I only came downstairs to make sure the kids did their schoolwork, and then I went right back up here and just sat here, not even diamond painting, just staring. Or I was on the phone all the time. um, so, so yeah, it was a rough time. um, but yeah, I was just like, oh man. So I hope she's able to get into to running, but she's excited about her band stuff. I was kind of panicking because I got an email from her teacher. They're supposed to be doing another project this week, and I'm like, another project? This is the third project in a row. And she wanted people to buy supplies for the school, and it was like $36 for like one order, and she wanted two orders of something, like to help the entire classroom, and I'm just like, you know. Although I shouldn't be doing that because we my husband was trying to help set my mind, and we bought a couple of stuff over the last few weeks, and everything, but some of it was kind of needed, some of it wasn't, so one of the things is Bath and Body Works. I liked their soap. They had a really good deal on hand soap. It was like it was like buy four get one free or something, like not no, it was like 5 for $25 or something like that. It was a really good deal. So I made it even better with like a coupon to make it go down even more. So we bought that, and I joked to my husband, like, just wait, in a few days they're going to turn around and do the buy three for free, or buy just like one of the really good deals for a body wash. Yeah, I was right. Excuse me. I was right. They did the buy. I think it was like buy two for and get one free or something like that. So or buy three for free. I don't remember. But it was a really good deal on soap. So even though I just bought 10 hand soaps, right? I turned around and bought 6 body washes, like a few days later. But this time the body washes weren't all mine. No. So my husband really loves the smell of mahogany teak wood and their bourbon scents. So they had both of them available. Plus there was like a sandalwood thing. and I bought coffee and whiskey. So out of the six, four of them are his. And then I bought my pumpkin spice. Yes, pumpkin spice. It was like pumpkin spice marshmallow latte one. I'm like, I gotta have this one. And then the other one that was like smells almost like cotton candy. So I gotten those things, and I got the hand soaps. But the body wash won't be here until next week now. I was just like, it's so weird. Um, so the kids aren't allowed to use the hand wash, or the body wash. They go through it way too quick, and I'm like, I like to smell good, but I don't want to be like burning through money because you guys can't use the proper amount. It's either they don't use a lot or they use way too much. There is no happy medium between with it. It's like um so, and like with the hand soap is only upstairs in my bathroom or in the downstairs bathroom that everyone uses. But the kids' bathroom, they're using the normal hand soap. Like, nope, you guys aren't using the nice ones in your bathroom. You guys kind of tear through it. No, no, no. So they're it's just a normal hand soap, and they surprisingly they're not like going through it as much as like the ones that smell like tutti fruity and stuff like that. um, so, yeah. So anyway, here we go. I'm gonna be a big. I'm gonna be a proud mom moment. So, I tell you guys all the time like how smart my kids are. And, I tell my kids how smart they are, especially Jaina. Jaina does not feel like she's ever smart. She's dyslexic like I am. She loves reading like I do. But she feels like she's not smart, especially when you look at her brother. And her brother, well, he's on his own level. He hyper-focuses, though. That's his thing. He hyper-focuses on a subject. He'll focus on a thing until he can learn as much as he can before he moves on to something new. And and she feels like she's not smart because of that. And I kept telling her, I'm like, you're smart in your own way. I'm like, you're in gifted and talented. That shows that you know something, right? And I was trying to hype her up, everything. I'm like, look, everyone learns things differently and at their own pace, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I guess she just didn't really believe it. Then her state tests came in, so they did like beginning of the state testing to see where you're at with your knowledge and everything. And you guys, yeah, Michael, of course, blew out math out the water. He tested out for almost everything. It was like tested out, or he was late third grade level with all of it, and I think one of it was like fourth grade level. So I was like, okay, they're both in third grade, so yes, this is good news. And then with his reading, it was all mid grade level, mid third grade level. So it was good. It was good too. I mean, not bad, right? I mean, like pretty good, right? That's normal. His math's always and then his readings like still on the on still pretty good, but he has issues on things like creativity, and he's very fact-based, very factorial. So like when they ask him things like, how do you think this person feels, he kind of struggles with that. But Jaina, she excels on this. So anyway, so with her math, she tested mid third grade level, which very very well, very excellent. But the reading stuff, that's where she was like, she tested out on half of that stuff. She's like, it was tested out, and then like it was all mid third grade level reading level for her. I was like, look, late grade. Third grade for her. I'm like, see, look, you're smart, and she's all like, really? I'm like, yeah, look at you, you're doing so well. She was already feeling kind of down too, because the poor kid got a really she got a poor score on one of her math tests. She read things wrong, like I said. So the way the question, I was looking at it, and I was just like, "Oh, I understand how you missed these four questions." It was like, the way it was worded, the question was like it made it look like this set of question was like attached to this problem compared to a different one, and she just looked at it in the wrong spot. But it was basically, it's like least numbered and put the numbers from greatest to least, right? And she went from least to greatest because the question underneath that was saying said put the numbers from least to greatest, and she did the least to greatest instead of greatest to least. So she got all four of those answers wrong, unfortunately. But they were in the correct order if it was least to greatest. So, but she was really bummed about that. I'm like, it's okay. This is just the reason why we gotta double check our work, okay, kiddo? And she's like, okay. I'm like, see, nothing to get upset about, So, I'll find out Nicole's test scores and stuff when she comes home today, since she was gone. Excuse me, she was goodness, goodness. She was out on Friday, so I didn't get her progress reports. But she showed me her stuff that was her on her tablet, and she had all A's, so nothing, pretty, she's doing pretty good. Goodness, I really wish I would stop coughing here, guys. Oh, and I do have here's something funny for you guys, okay? So, Jaina has a weekly tooth, okay? All right, she's been having this one weekly tooth. She has 4 weekly teeth. Well, 3 now, but she had at the time 4 weekly teeth. Right? They're all like the incisors. I think. Let me. It's like the teeth right next to your front teeth, like those 4. Okay. So anyway, those 4 teeth are wiggly, right? One of them's wiggly, more wiggly than the rest of them. And to the point where, like, the adult tooth has already made its way. It's already shown. It's been there for at least a week and a half. Like, the adult tooth's, like, right there. And, she's been messing around, but she hasn't really had the courage to pull the tooth out, right? Especially when the adult tooth was right there, it kind of helped prevent the tooth from wiggling too much at a point. Anyway, she comes over. I'm looking at this tooth. It's just like right there. It's literally by a thread. Like, it's there. So I'm like, hey, let me look at your mouth for a minute. I'm just gonna, I just want to look, right? And she's like, okay. So I'm like, okay, let me look how wiggly that tooth is, right? And she's like, okay. And I grab a tissue paper that's right next to me. And I put the tissue paper right around her tooth, and I go, hey, do you want me to pull this out for you? And she goes, no, not really. And as she says, no, not really, I do this motion, like I yank, not too hard. I didn't even really have to yank, guys. It was literally like doink, like it fell, like it just practically fell in my hands. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I said that, I'm like, well, that's too darn bad. And she goes, why? I'm like, because your tooth's right here. And she was so shocked because she didn't realize that I pulled her tooth out. I pulled her tooth out, and she's like, wait, what? And this is like, I think it was like Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday when I pulled her tooth out. So tooth came out. And she was just so excited now, and she was like, I'm gonna have a visit from the tooth fairy, and all this stuff. So it was the cutest thing, because she did not realize just the look on her face, like, wait, what? That of me pulling her tooth out. So let's see what else has happened. Oh, did anyone get those butterfly effects wear pins on Saturday? I tried. I lost. I had like 3 pins that I wanted. I was like, okay, this is the order of the pins I want. If I can't get this, I want this. If I can't get that, I want that. Like that. And I had the one I wanted in my cart. I was about to buy it, and it got snatched. So I go refresh. I try and, get another pin. It's gone. It's out of the cart. I'm like going over and over to the pins I don't even really care about at this point, because I wanted one and they were all gone. I was like, But I do have an Enablers Outpost pin that I got delivered. Let's see, sometime last week. And I did record an unboxing, but I'm debating about redoing it this week. I did it. I did the unboxing. Goodness, Sunday, and I was just getting interruptions. At one point, after I was interrupted, thought I started pushed the record button. I didn't, and then when I realized I had to redo the recording, so I feel like my best wasn't into it. And yeah, like I already seen what the whole thing looks like, but I feel like maybe I should redo it just so that way, I don't know, to get a better, to give you guys a better look at it instead. Maybe at a different light angle, because the picture is kind of on the darker end. Like this is kind of harder to see, and the glare doesn't help. So I don't know. I was like debating about it. When having the blinds open, it helped, but the blinds closed did not help as much. So I don't know. But I was looking at the stuff I wanted to unbox though, guys, and they're all fairies. All the stuff I gotten recently has been all fairies. I decided to give in to my fairy kick that I love. Like, I wish I could find it. I'm gonna dig around and I'll show you guys this. They were like a big craze back then in the day, whereas it was like a 3D glass model where you could put like one of those laser light things pedestals, and then you put on there. I had like two fairy lights, two fairy things that I used to collect all the time. I had like more than that, but I only have two left because I left it with my parents and everything, and they couldn't find any more, and there was only just those two left. Once I visited like a few years ago, and they brought that with them. So I don't know where the rest are. I might have to start a new collection. Actually, speaking of collections, okay. I know this is running over. Probably going to be running over an hour. I don't know. I think the other one was like 25. So yeah, this might be running over a little bit. So it's September. I almost started decorating the outside of the house for Halloween. And the only reason I haven't is because I didn't want to be one of those people that people like, that's the crazy lady you need to steer away from, because no one else has. But I really want to decorate the house, guys. I really want to start want to get a head start on it. Although it won't be my best work, but I really want to decorate, guys. I really want to. I want to start decorating the inside of the house. I want to do like a Halloween village. I was kind of looking that up last year. I want to do like, instead of like Christmas village. So my parents, even though my mom loved horror movies, she hated Halloween with a passion. Halloween was her, like, she hated it. But her and Dad loved Christmas. And Dad would always have a Christmas village. He loved decorating up for Christmas. He always made a little village kind of thing. Like, there was just no one that was allowed to touch it. He was only allowed to. And it's kind of funny saying this because they both did not like Halloween. They didn't. They tolerated it for us. Especially when we were kids, because we like to go trick or treating, all that stuff. They tolerated it. But they had 3 kids. All of us girls love Halloween, right? We are obsessed. Like, Christmas is okay, but we are obsessed with Halloween, all 3 of us. And my youngest sister, she's more on the horror movie genre. She likes more of the more on the scary stuff. She wants gore, she wants blood, I'm like, no, thank you. Me, I'm more like, let's make it scary, but not too scary. Just a little, woo, give you a little shiver up your spine, but not too much. Not too much. We don't want nightmares. We just want to like, that was scary. That's pretty much it. That's me. And I think it's my sister too, although she can get a little bit more on the creepier end. So my idea that I really would love to do, like I would love to see come to life, would be like to decorate the entire front yard. It's not a big yard. It's, I wanted to decorate the entire front yard. I want to make it into a graveyard, okay? I grew up next to a graveyard, so it's not too bad, but I had nightmares when I was living there, so I don't know. But I want to make the front yard look like it's a graveyard. With actual looking gravestones, right? Not like the little tiny plastic flimsy ones. I saw a tutorial on using like this foam and making an actual realistic one. I have to do this like someday. I gotta start, work on it months beforehand or something like that. I'm going to do it one day. But I want to do that. And then I want to decorate the entire front yard to look like it has cobwebs everywhere. Like the entire ground is just littered with cobwebs. And then have spiders kind of crawling onto the gravestones, onto the trees, like big spiders, not teeny tiny, like, dinner plate size ones, right? I want to do that. And that's like my dream, my ideal dream to make that the most spooky Halloween thing. And then like around my porch area, I bought like a couple of skeletal heads that's covered in cobwebs and stuff. I really want to be able to hang them up this year, and make them look a little bit more creepy, I guess would be the best way to say it, but not too creepy. I don't want to scare children. I just want it. I don't know. I just like. I wish. I already told my husband that I want to be once the kids are all done with trick or treating, and if they want to help give out candy and stuff, I want to be that one person that really goes nuts on Halloween. Like when people come by, I have like a goodie basket essentially to give to kids. I know. I really love it. And I also want to make like a Halloween village. I want to do that too. I want to make a little Halloween village. I want to get like a corner of the house, like the living room or something, and just deck it all out on a table, like just make it all creepy villages and stuff like that. But oh well. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, honestly. But it's a nice dream to have, right, guys? Let's see. I still don't know what to do. I know I'm talking a little too bit long. I'll wrap this up in a moment. I still don't know what to do though. About my Drills and Chills project that I want to do. Like, I want to get this done. This is my main focus. I'm trying to get this done as fast as I can, even though I'm on the slower end. I want to get through this. I want to work on that and be done with this before I pull out my Drills and Chills. I think I want to work on Morgan, but it's just another dark project. It's only 18 colors though, but it's just another dark project. And it's a lot of color. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. It's a lot of color blocking. So I don't know if I really want to do that, but at the same time I kind of do. And then there's excuse me. Oh my goodness. There's Magnolia's Castle. I haven't unboxed that one yet. I might do that this coming week, to be honest. That way you guys won't have to see another fairy one. I might do that. Might unbox that this week or next week or something like that, depending on my time. I really do want to unbox the one that I did just do. It's from Jaded Gem Shop. I think I mentioned that. Did I? If I didn't, it's from Jaded Gem Shop. It's my first one. And I'm really excited about it. And I can't touch it, guys. I want to so bad, but I have so much I want to do. I want to start working on flower delivery, which could technically count as, because she's a witch. But that's going to be my time-lapse project that I wanted to work on. So I want us to get started on that. And I had the best idea for it, guys. Spooky music. I want to do Halloween music along with it, or like something like with that vibe. Even though she's not a scary witch, but I felt like the vibe for it, especially with it September and everything. I want to do that. So I figured I'll start on her soon, especially once I'm done with this, because it's about the same size as this project. So it's like, do I really want to work on another huge canvas when I'm just finishing this up and I'm about to start on another one? The answer is yes, because I'm crazy. Probably. I'll probably be working on that one. Most likely. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see where we're going. Plus, I have Aquarius that I need to work on. I started on her and only did like a small, teeny, tiny section, and then I stopped because I wanted to work on my shimmering canvas thing. So I have like 3 things I'm working on right now. I want to do of my 4th one, and then I'm gonna have, I don't know. I just got to focus on this first. That's it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Sorry, sorry that I rambled and talked your ears off. I really appreciate that you guys let me had a week break, like I said. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!